Hello everyone, welcome to the Geoecologist. I'm Dr. Krishnanand, and in this session we are going to learn about the concept of areal differentiation. So what does this areal differentiation mean? Basically, how are we going to differentiate between two areas and who gave this principle? And how did it emerge as one of the important building blocks of regional geography? So in this session, we are going to learn about it all. So before we go ahead, please like and subscribe to our channel and don't forget to press the bell icon for the updates.
So let's begin with this word, that is areal differentiation itself. So what does it basically means? That there is a difference in the area or the space that we attribute to this particular thing, that is area. So how is this difference in particular area, or what is that which makes one area different from the other? So this is the concept that we study in areal differentiation. So it is the study of distribution of phenomena, both human as well as physical phenomena, and how they are causally related. It means what is their cause. So this is also talking about the causal relationship rather than just independent phenomena, and also what is the other phenomena in its proximity. So these are certain important things that we need to understand, that when we say areal differentiation, it doesn't mean simply to differentiate between two areas, but rather than also talk about or learn about the causal relationship between them, and also what are the other phenomena that makes it different from its surroundings. So it is based on the idea of uniqueness in the attribute. So that is where this area differences from one place to the other. So the concept of areal differentiation that later translated into regional approach in geography that we study. So this idea of differentiating one place from the other on the basis of the cause and also the uniqueness led to this particular regional approach in geography. And we know this word region, it basically means a unique space or a straight line which every point is very unique and it is different from the outside. And also when we see the core concept of region and periphery, so the characteristics of the region are more importantly unique in its core, and gradually moving away from the core, the characteristics decline. So certain theories have been there in this regional concept that we are going to look at separately in when we do this regional approach lecture, or basically the regional synthesis lecture. So let's understand first the areal differentiation. So it is considered one of the important significant approaches to the study of human geography, as well as the combination of human and physical geography. So what are the other two approaches? The other two approaches are the spatial analysis and also the landscape approach, that is landscape system analysis later on that became. So the spatial analysis is also known as the systematic science approach, and morphology of landscape is largely the cultural approach. So we study that in cultural geography. So these are the other approaches apart from the areal differentiation approach. Now let's understand that how did it emerge during the world wars or in between the world wars. So what was happening? The importance of these world wars in terms of the development of thought process cannot be undermined. So the entire world was developing different thoughts, society was restructuring, economy was restructuring, and many things were changing. So lots of importance to the subject matter and geographical thought were given at that particular time. That is when in 1939 the Nature of Geography came, and who wrote it? Richard Hartshorne. So in this Nature of Geography, he talked about this concept of areal differentiation. And that is when the debate began. Debate about what? That what should be the subject matter in geography? What should a geographer study? What should be the core component of geographical studies? So to define it, or we can say to redefine it, this Nature of Geography played a pivotal role at that particular time. So according to Richard Hartshorne, American geographer, according to his concept of areal differentiation in geography, it's about showing how unique regions reveal the covariance of phenomena. It basically means that if regions are unique in itself, one region is different from the other. So how do we understand that what is that factor that leads to this variance between these two regions? How are they related, or how are the phenomena separate in separate regions? What is the reason for their uniqueness? So this was interesting point, that one region is different from the other because of its particular uniqueness in its formation, in its attributes. So let's identify this. So this was the approach brought by Richard Hartshorne, coming from the works of previous scholars, right from the ancient to the Middle Ages and to the foundations of modern geography. So the central concept of areal differentiation is that the surface of the earth may be divided into several unique regions, that is, having unique characteristics. That is where one will be different from the other. This will have a separate characteristic, this will have a separate characteristic. So because its origin, its function, its attribute are separate from this one, so this is different and this is different. And that is how geography should be studied. This was his proposal. Now let's trace back the historical understanding of this concept. So areal differentiation, understanding wise, it was not new. Before Hartshorne as well, we find the roots of this kind of thinking, this kind of geographical thought, in the works of Hecataeus of Miletus and Strabo during the Greco-Roman era. During the Age of Discovery and just in the pre-classical phase of German geography, we see that Bernhard Varenius made his important contribution to geographical thought in the form of Geographia Generalis. So in Geographia Generalis, he divided the subject matter into general and specific, that is particular. So this is where a differentiation was made for the first time in the subject matter or in the geographical thought, and this led to a dichotomy or a debate that we study in the dualism in geography as a part of the subject matter, as a part of the methodology of the subject. So that is when this specific or the unique part came to being in this geographical thought. Again, later on, right from Varenius to Richthofen to Hettner, they all proposed different unique ideas related to the concept of chorological science, that is geography as a science of space, that is the spatial distribution. So what kind of spatial distribution? Basically that one place is unique, the other place is unique, and the entire world is made of such unique places. So every place, every location has its own unique attributes, its own unique causal relationship with its surrounding. So in this kind of study, Hettner, who espoused and advocated the study of geography as a chorological science that we have studied, and found some resistance from his own colleague, that was Otto Schluter, as he talked about the morphological studies. He talked about how human beings change the morphology of landscape, which was taken on later by Carl Ossar. So he advocated the landscape approach rather than just the regional approach or the chorological approach. So what we observe here is that areal differentiation along with chorology, not just alone, but along with the distributive chorology that we study, the conceptual and theoretical background for regional geography was made. So when we say that this regional geography became the core of geographical studies, how did it become? It took the message, it took the key understanding from the chorological approach and also from this unique study of different areas, that one area is unique from the other, one area can be differentiated from the other. So that is what regional geography has as a core. So these two concepts, which are generally used interchangeably, became synonymous with regional approach in geography later on. So the regional approach focuses on study of the various regions that we see, which is demarcated on the basis of homogeneity. So when we study regional geography in detail, we'll understand this principle of homogeneity that we say. That region is something which is a homogeneous area where there is a uniqueness and it is different from its surrounding. So here in its surrounding, which is different from what is here in the core of this particular region. So a homogeneity principle was made for a particular location on the earth to be identified as region. So this was important as it was talking about spatially concentrated phenomena in given space under a given boundary. So when region was demarcated, it meant to have its boundary because this boundary would separate this unique factor. So if this was unique and this was a different from this. That's why this is unique. So uniqueness cannot be defined in absoluteness. Uniqueness can be defined in the relativeness. It basically means if this is x here and this is y here, so this x is different than this y. So this was the basic idea behind areal differentiation that later on paved way for regional approach and regional geography that we study for so many generations. So now, what happened at that particular time? When Richard Hartshorne proposed this idea of areal differentiation, he was criticized by another person called Schaeffer. So there is a very famous debate between Hartshorne and Schaeffer that we call it Hartshorne-Schaeffer debate, and he said that exceptionalist tradition, that is, exceptions cannot be the core part of a region. So he criticized, saying that we cannot make the core study of geography which are exceptions. So when we say regions are unique, it means they are exceptions. So he, in his work that was Exceptionalism in Geography, criticized the work of Nature of Geography, Areal Differentiation of Richard Hartshorne. And he said that exceptional tradition is not the core part of geography. Rather than geography should be talking about the entire totality, not just uniqueness, but we should look forward to formulate general principles that cater to every part in the world rather than just those unique parts. So that was entirely antagonic to the concept of areal differentiation. But unfortunately, Schaeffer died before he could publish his work in 1953. So it was published posthumously in 1953, this work Exceptionalism in Geography. This work changed the course of thinking of many geographers, especially in America and also in the Europe, because this led to the thinking process where geography was supposed to be competing with the pure sciences like physics, chemistry, where lawmaking was prominent. So geographers also looked forward to not just study uniquenesses in different places, but rather formulate that thread that connects everything in the form of a general principle, in the form of a general lawmaking. So that's where this exceptionalism in geography in 1953 changed the way that geographers used to look at geography as a chorological science or the science of areal differentiation. So this changed the entire scenario. So why is it important then? So let's understand the importance of this approach. For example, if we take that nature of a settlement in a given place is intricately linked with this physical environment that we understand. So a mountain region has a different dispersed kind of settlement. Plains have different concentrated settlements. If it is a coast area settlement, in a coastal area, so we have a different kinds of settlement. There are settlements along a given corridor or a river. So we understand that those locations are very unique in nature because every factor related to this cause of this particular settlement is important and unique. So identification of these unique factors will help us to do what? To get and identify unique solution to those problems of those particular unique areas. So that was important for policy makers. That's why we see that regional synthesis or the study of region or the regional approach in geography was one of the major pivots of the core discipline of geography and still holds importance in the current syllabus of the geographical studies. So in welfare geography, we find that these developmental gaps in health, education, living standard, to address the concern of population, we need to identify the context. It basically means the location, the specific problem, and then their specific solutions. That's where for administrative purpose region becomes very important, or regional ideas or regional synthesis or the ideas based on this differentiation of those particular areas. So we cannot have a common idea of policy for every problem because every problem is unique in itself for each specific region. That's why we study this particular approach in geography. That's why areal differentiation matters.
So now, when we know about the concept of areal differentiation its building block, the concept of chorology, and how did it emerge as building block of regional geography, the methodological aspects of the areal differentiation, we can now say that areal differentiation is important in the formation of regional synthesis. So we are going to talk about regional synthesis and further more concepts in the lectures to come. So stay tuned, stay safe, all the best wishes.